What is McCleary about? It's about our Constitution. The paramount duty of the state is to amply and uniformly fund education in the state of Washington. And that's what the court has said that the legislature and the governor are not doing.
The issue is levies. In 1977, Judge Robert Duran ruled that the state was in violation of the Constitution because school districts were relying on levies to fund a large portion of the costs of the education system. The 1977 legislature responded by passing the Basic Education Act, which defined what the state would pay for in terms of education, and also the Levy Lid Act, which limited local levies to 10% of a school district's budget. However, over time the legislature raised the levy lid. Today levies are once again being used to pay a large share of the costs of the education system in many school districts. In 2007, a group of parents with more than 200 school districts filed the McCleary case, alleging the state was not meeting its constitutional obligation to amply fund a uniform system of education. In 2009, anticipating a Supreme Court decision in the McCleary case, the legislature passed House Bill 2261, which created a process for defining a fully state-funded prototypical school model by 2018. This model would lead to funding basic education without the use of levies. In 2010, the legislature passed House Bill 2776, committing the state to funding 4 parts of the prototypical school model: full funding of student transportation, full funding of materials, supplies, and operating costs, or MSOC, full funding for full-day kindergarten, and lowering class sizes grades kindergarten through 3 to a student-teacher ratio of 17:1. The state did make progress in funding these commitments during the 2013-2015 biennial budget, but 2776 will only satisfy part of our McCleary obligation. For instance, levies are still being used to fund a portion of the salaries of thousands of school district staff. In 2012, the state Supreme Court ruled on the McCleary case. The court ruled that the state was in violation of the Constitution, that relying on local levies to fund basic education is unconstitutional, that following the process created by House Bill 2261 and funding a prototypical school model based on previous education research will remedy the deficiencies in the K-12 funding system, and the court decided to retain jurisdiction of the case in order to monitor the state's progress. Last fall, the Supreme Court ruled that the state is in contempt of court for failing to comply with an earlier court order to submit a complete plan for fully implementing funding for the prototypical school model for each year between now and the 2017-2018 school year. If the legislature does not adopt such a plan by the adjournment of the 2015 session, the court will reconvene to determine whether it will impose sanctions or other remedial measures.
Our educational system today includes early learning, K-12, community college, higher ed. To produce a quality citizen and the economy that we want to have a place to live and work will take more resources. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to do what's right for kids. And we need to do it.